Well, guys, it's that time again. It's Dave and Mike Reviews. I'm Dave. He is.
I'm Mike.
Yeah, Mike. We are looking at club football today. Club football 2005, the Manchester United version, though.
This is awesome because I don't have a lot of memories with this, actually. I've only played it a tiny bit, if I remember correctly. I might not have played it. We'll see. Dave, why are we looking at this game?
Because this game was one that I was really hyped about. I can remember seeing trailers. I can remember reading lots of information about it on Codemasters forums, because Codemasters was the developer of this. And it looked awesome. The fact that you had these additions with particular clubs, like we're looking at Manchester United, because that's the team we both support, by the way, guys. I was super excited. I thought, if they do this right, this could be really awesome. But unfortunately, as you're going to see, things aren't as good as they initially appear.
Oh, it's Gary Lineker.
It's Gary Lineker. It gives you a match of the day sort of feel, which, again, is good. The presentation, I don't mind. I think the presentation is all right, as you'll see.
Yeah, it looks good for its time. No, I didn't play this, I don't think, actually, mate. I remember salivating at the idea of it, all the licensing and, like you say, that BBC presentation.
Yeah, so how it works is, per version, you've got a couple of teams within that league that are licensed. So for us, United and Arsenal were both licensed, hence me looking at this.
Sure.
If I selected Chelsea, you'd have real players, but the squad numbers and the kits wouldn't be right, for instance.
Okay.
So, yeah, they had to do that as a sort of a workaround, like Konami have had to do with PES as well. It's a similar concept. But this one is focused on United and Arsenal, with one of our main rivals at the time. And, well, you can see we've kicked off. You've got commentary from the legendary Barry Davis, which I liked.
Yeah,
but, as you can see, ball physics, non-existent.
Oh. I didn't imagine it to look like this. I don't know. I need to see more footage of this, mate. I'll need to see more footage. It looks so far okay, but I suppose it's one of those you've got to play it to...
Yeah. If you had it in your hands, I think you'd see what I'm saying. So it also runs too fast. That may not be coming across.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, it is. It's running fast.
Runs way too fast. Ball physics non-existent. Remember me complaining about the shooting in PES?
Yeah.
Well, the shooting in this is worse. A lot worse. Yeah. So, again, the presentation's there. It's almost as if they looked at EA and looked at Sky Sports and tried to put the two together, because it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But the gameplay, the AI, I mean... This is on very hard, and admittedly I didn't really play particularly well in this game, but the AI isn't that good, as you're seeing. I'm able to dominate the ball pretty easily.
The ball physics do look a little bit all over the place. The ball moves too fast.
Plus, it looks like a heavy marble on a glass table, as you once described PES 2008. It's shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I'm impressed with the presentation, but that was always going to be a thing, wasn't it, with the selling point for this game?
It had to be, I think, because of the fact that they got those licenses with those clubs. Because there was quite a few different versions of this game. I'm not sure if you're aware. There were loads of different clubs that had a version of this game with their club featured in it.
Right, okay.
For instance, there's even like Real Madrid and Juventus versions. I think there's a Liverpool version, an
Celtic.
Aston Villa version.
There was a Celtic version, a Rangers version.
Yeah, that's right, there was. There was also two different releases of this game. This is the 2005 release. This is the second version of the game that come out. There was also one that was just called Club Football with, again, various clubs.
Okay.
And that one got reviewed terribly.
I mean, they've gone for the PES look, haven't they?
They have. The controls are very PES-esque as well, which is a good thing, by the way.
Yeah.
Because the PES control scheme, I'm still a fan of the PES
Same.
control scheme and still use it to this day. But that's where the similarities end, because the gameplay, it's too fast, so it reminds you of FIFA 20, and the ball physics are non-existent.
Yeah, or it kind of reminds you of FIFA in those days. I mean, PES was king when this was released.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when this... Was this out in 2005? I think it was. So we would have had FIFA 06 at that stage, and FIFA 06 was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was.
Pretty bad. PES 5 I think was our PES game at that time, and we both loved that game.
I've noticed you've been able to string together this same move every time.
Yeah, you can. That's one of the biggest problems. The AI is virtually non-existent.
I mean, yeah, you get it to... Is it Andy Cole up there? And it's like...
Saha.
Oh, to Saha. Of course, Andy Cole would have hung up his boots ages before this. And yeah, you do the same sort of shot. It's a weird game, this.
It is very weird. Now, it's one of them where I'd like to give it some credit and say there's some things here where they're onto something, or they were onto something. They weren't. They just weren't. This is terrible. If you played this, honestly, you would be thinking, what is going on?
Oh my god. Every time you get the ball into Arsenal's area, they just do this long ball to clear it.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you score in this thing as well? It just goes straight at the keeper every time.
So, spoiler, there are goals. There are a few goals in this game. But one of them is absolute bullcrap, as you'll see. Not this one, because this isn't a goal. There's a free kick that Henry gets later on, which is bullshit. My keeper just stands still. But the goals are uninspiring. Again, something I've criticised Pez for a number of years. They're just uninspiring, as you'll see.
I'm impressed with the presentation. I really am impressed with it, I've got to say.
Yeah, same as. I mean, it looks good. Some of the player likenesses are not too bad for a game from 2005 either. Some look shocking. Some look really bad.
Codemasters obviously spent their resources, their time on presentation and not a lot else, though. I mean, look at that long ball every time. The way the...
And look at the goal they score.
I'm sure...
It gave me control of Tim Howard without me realising it.
I was going to ask,
running out, and the late Jose Antonio Reyes lobs him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
and look at Sir Alex Ferguson there.
Oh, man. Look at... Oh, I don't know. It's... Yeah, I'd say, is it fun? Is this game fun for a few minutes? It looks very serious, though.
It's not fun. No, it's not fun. Like I say, I wish that I could sit here and say to you, okay, so there's a bit dodgy ball physics and the shooting's not great, but there's a game there, like there is with Evo 2020. There just isn't. There's just no real gameplay to this.
The AI, man, what is annoying me, this Arsenal team, one of my favourite Premier League sides, even though they were our rivals, this is one of my favourite Premier League sides of all time. They are not playing tactically anywhere near like Arsenal would have then. They are just booting it along.
Yeah, were Arsenal ever a long ball team in that time period?
No.
We're looking at the Invincibles squad.
No, the last time Arsenal were a long ball team would have been George Graham.
Yeah, that's right, when they would have had Alan Smith up front and players that.
Yeah.
I agree with you. This was a tiki-taka, smooth as silk Arsenal sort of football team.
They were a joy to watch, this Arsenal side were. And the way the CPU, if he does that long ball again, I'm going to lose my shit. Oh, here we go, he's onside if he goes through. No.
But look how deep my defence is.
What the I didn't expect to see two centre-backs there. What the hell? They're more or less sitting on top of Howard's head.
And what... So that actually gives me a comparison to make, because do you remember Actua Soccer 2 that me and you looked at, and you were saying about, well, look how deep the defenders are.
Yeah.
I wonder if Codemasters looked at that and basically replicated some of that, because again, the same scenario exists here.
Why?
Except Actua Soccer was a fun, competent football game.
I don't know why they'd be looking back at Actual Soccer as a bit of a strange one. It was a fun game, but they should have been borrowing everything they could. I mean, Codemasters were obviously investing a lot financially in this product.
They would have, yeah.
You know, why didn't they try and poach one or two of the Pez gameplay developers at least?
Exactly. And the problem you had with Codemasters is they were more well known for making decent racing games at this time, and the odd shmup as well. I think there was a shmup that they did, Operation Flashpoint or something like that. Yeah, I think they did. So they were good for that. They were known for being good for doing that. But football gaming is a totally different kettle of fish.
Yeah. They brought out a snooker game that I loved. I remember
World Championship Snooker was good. I like that.
But yeah, you're right. Racers they're known for. But this is I thought I'd played this for some reason, but I haven't. I've never ever spent any time with this game, and I'm loving this footage because this is all new to me. And the ball, it's the ball physics that spoil it, mate.
Yeah, the ball physics are the biggest problem for definite. And also at times, you know, I moan about Pez being clunky and it not doing what you are pressing that button for it to do. Yeah. This does that as well, and this does it badly. There's also some glitches at various times where your player will just freeze. You'll be wanting to play a pass or do something, and they'll just freeze on the spot. Yeah, there's some really, really strange things that happen. But you could also say, maybe with a bit of refinement and a bit of work, this could have actually been better, which I think it probably could have.
I love the camera angle and visually how it looks. It looks good for its time.
It does. And also, I like the way Old Trafford looks. I think Old Trafford looks decent on this. Yeah,
it does. Every little detail. The Nike ball. I remember the Nike ball that season with the blue stripes around it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that little over the top ball, which that pass, which looks too fast. It looks too unrealistic. It's ruining what could have been, what might have been. I think. Is this a goal?
No, I'm just trying to...
Zaha's dancing feet.
But I do something very similar in a minute, and you'll see what happens. But yeah, there are times when you can literally just walk through a defence, which is crazy. You see there, how did he pull me out of the way and get the ball then? And that's a lovely foul.
Gameplay options, Dave. What did you have? Did you have like a career mode?
You had league seasons, like a domestic league season that you could do, because obviously the leagues are there, and you could do cup competitions. And I think there was a European Super League option that you could play on this. So there were some options, but the gameplay is king. You can have all these brilliant options, but gameplay is king. It's like FIFA. FIFA's got the most amazing options ever, lots of different game modes, but the gameplay is poor, as we said about FIFA 20 in our review of it.
What happens when you play away in this in a career or in a league season? And
so if it's a licensed team like Arsenal, would play the game at Highbury, as we should do at that time. But there's generic stadiums. So if I was away at Portsmouth, for instance, then you'd have a generic stadium that represents Fratton Park.
What did they look like?
They looked okay, to be fair. They didn't look too bad. They were believable in terms of...
That's good.
Yeah, you could see that. You go away to Aston Villa, it looks a little bit like Villa Park to a degree. You can
without calling it Villa Park. That's cool. I like that.
So
I was interested in this game, but I remember it getting a lot of negative feedback from the media.
Yeah, and it deserves it. I mean, you're watching it. If you played it, which the next time you visit the game room, remind me, because we'll throw this on, because you have to play this. So you can see. Mate,
I've got to. Yeah, I've got to feel this in my hands. That sounds really dodgy. I've been inside too long, guys, as many of you have, I'm sure. Yeah.
We've been inside, me and you, playing really bad football games of late, I've noticed.
And imagining things in our hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I was so interested, like you said earlier, because we support Man United as well, having that fully licensed package. I mean, the players' faces was okay. The kits look really good, even down to the fonts on the back of their shirts look really good.
And also the kit texture looks pretty decent as well, because these Nike kits had vents and all sorts on them, and they're well represented on this. Both Arsenal and United's kit look decent on this.
They do. It's a shame. Any other commentators, or was it just Barry Davis or was just Barry Davis
and Gary Lineker doing the match introduction, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Man. I mean, because the trailers got me hyped up back in the day, reading as much as I read about it, and there's the Henry goal.
What?
There's the Henry goal that I was talking about. Yeah, so you can imagine my disappointment, because I did play this back in the day when you read all the you watch all the trailers, you read all the information. It sounds exciting. Wenger's dancing for joy, and then you get to play it, and it's just like, nah, this is terrible.
Yeah, it's look how deep the defenders are. It's bizarre. The pitch to me looks too big as well.
Yeah, it does. I mean, and all the players look like midgets compared to the pitch, or whichever way. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks huge. The pitch does. But again, that was a thing in PES. Earlier PESs, the pitches were notoriously big.
They were. You're spot on. And also, the pitch textures in this game are good. The pitch textures in some of the PES fields were terrible, weren't they?
Yeah, I like the pitch textures. Here we go. It's got to be Van Nistelrooy.
Oh, Van Nistelrooy! Yeah.
How? It seems to just sort of drive it straight at the keeper every time.
Yeah. So as I say, there is a goal that I score. So that's a spoiler, and you'll see it in a moment. And it is scored by Louis Saha.
Not Andy Cole. Not Andy Cole.
Yeah. Not Andy Cole or Mark Hughes, actually Ruud van Nistelrooy. So let's have a look, because I'm sure it's coming up. There's Van Nistelrooy. Here's Saha. Do I weave? Do I shoot?
Oh, it's amazing. But the whistle goes before the ball hits the back of the net. Have you noticed that? As soon as the ball's near the white line, like the AI has said, right, it's a goal. Beep.
And also, we're seeing what I think is a delayed reaction from Lehmann. He would have been doing that at the time. But yeah, that goal didn't look too bad. But
it did. I've got to say as well, the crowd in my ear here, the crowd sound amazing.
Oh, I love it. earlier on when I was playing this, because I did actually play this to remind myself of how bad it was, I scored a goal with Roy Keane and they started chanting there's only one Keano. So
That's cool.
They had the authenticity of that, and also the rude when Van Nistelrooy
Oh,
scored.
nice. That's cool,
So-
yeah. Good attention
So they
to
had
detail.
that as well. Oh,
It's got to be a foul.
It's got to be. Oh, but it's not.
It's an unusual game. Dave, we always do this. Out of 10, I'm not going to give it a score. I've never played it, so I can't. You've got to give this a score out of 10.
Okay, I'll give this 5.
Oh,
It gets 5 out of 10, which is pretty low for me, but it deserves it because of the ball physics, because of the shooting, because the game's too fast, and because the AI is shocking. I mean, what more do I need to mark it down on?
yeah. The ball physics are just the ball physics are too bad for. Are too bad for if I wanted to spend any amount of time with this game. Here we go.
Van Nistelrooy! Van Nistelrooy!
Ah!
But Lehmann comes out and spreads himself.
And that long ball, man, it always finds one of their strikers, one of their forwards.
Yep, and I actually remember on a forum years and years ago reading a post from somebody that used to complain about crap about FIFA doing that. Every defensive clearance being a perfect 50-yard pass. Did they ever play this game instead of a FIFA game?
I've never seen it as bad in any other game as it is in club football. It's bad in this.
It is pretty bad. Tactics go out the window. It doesn't matter what type of player you've got. The AI really bad. If I set this on a lower level, I'd win easily, but then scoring goals, as you've seen, doesn't seem to have any rhyme or reason to it. It's weird.
It is a really strange game, this one. It's a strange
No surprise that Codemasters then decided to call it a day with football games.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame, but they stuck to what they knew then, didn't they?
They certainly did. So, guys, it has been a pleasure having Mike back on. We've covered club football. Let us know what you think in the comments below. A link to Mike's channel. We do a Chorizo cast quite often on there, and it's a good watch. Mike, thank you for joining me.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care.